welcome to the Confessions of a Knitaholic, I think is what I'm going to call this. So I've been dabbling about the thought of making a knitting podcast for a while, but I've also been thinking, is there really room for another one? Not sure, but we'll try. And we'll get back to the main reason why I'm making this in a bit, but I just figured I'd introduce myself to the great big old internet. And yeah, if this never makes it online, I tried. You will never know, but I did. Okay. My name is Johanne. I'm Norwegian and I live in the middle of the country in a city called Trondheim. And yeah, I have 2 kids, 1 and 3, and I knit a lot. And I have a lot of yarn. And yeah, this is my hobby / crafting / chillaxing room. Maybe I'll do a little room tour. And yeah, if this makes it on the internet, then me saying I will do a room tour will make me have to clean up said room so that I actually want to show it off. Because now it's not ready to be revealed in its entirety. You might see a little something behind me here. I'm also trying to get more into weaving, so I have my loom, is that what it's called? Yeah. Maybe there will be some weaving content down the line. But first and foremost, I'm a knitter. I've been knitting since I was in elementary school, pretty much. We learned to knit in elementary school, but I also learned from my mom was a knitter, my grandmas are both knitters, and pretty much a big knitting family. So I guess we're just gonna do like a more traditional podcast formatting based off of the podcasts that I like to watch, and then if somebody likes to watch this, then great, and if not, that's fine too. Who knows? So I think this first one is primarily going to be more of a who am I as a knitter? Did I already say that? No idea. Yeah. I have to figure out how to avoid glasses glare. I can take them off, but nah. We'll try. So what am I working on is, I guess, what I should be starting with. And that can be one of the first confessionals, I think. I am a process knitter. Big on process. Of course, I wear a lot of knits. You can't see that right now, but I wear a lot of knits pretty much throughout the year. But I knit more than I wear, I would say. And a lot of the things I knit because I want to knit the thing, not necessarily because I have somebody to give it to or because I need it or something. So then I may knit it and then it will just either be finished or it won't. And then it ends up in a bag somewhere. So what I'm working on can be both what I have cast on that is a cast on, a UFO, but I also have some active projects. And my biggest project this year, I'm trying to teach myself some like perseverance and consistency and yeah, getting shit done in knitting. So this year I have a year-long project that I'm trying to do. I'm wanting to make a is it called, like a knitted quilt. I want to make the Stella quilt blanket, and I want to make the big version, and I want it to fit my bed and have it as like a throw over the bed in the guest room so that it can look nice when we don't have guests, pretty much. And I want to do the 12, so it has 12 stars, and my idea was I'm doing it as a year-long project with 1 star a month. So then I'm doing, like, based off of the yarn that I have and the yarn that I like and blah blah blah, I'm doing like a color of the month and then making a square, and at the end of the year hopefully I'll sit there with 12, and then I'll sew it all together and yeah, finish the project. So I could lie and say that today is the 31st of July, but it's the 1st of August and I didn't finish the July square all the way. I have like a teeny half square left, so I'm gonna finish that today and then July will be done. But July is like a summery bright one, and then I figured I'll take you through all the months that I wanted to have started this podcast but didn't, and show you the progress throughout the year. So I have the pile of the finished ones here, and yeah, let's see. So January, winter blues, yeah. My neighbor is outside tanning on her porch and must think I am crazy, but oh well. And then February, Valentine's, pink. March, it's like start of spring-ish. It's my little boy's birthday and he wears a lot of green, so like, yeah. That was the backside, sorry. Greens. And as you can see, I have a project for future Johanne with fastening all the threads. Well, sorry to me. April was Easter, so a lot of yellows. And May is like the Norwegian Constitution Day and such, so our colors are also red, white, and blue, so then I tried to make a red, white, and blue one. And I'm thinking of doing like a outline of white over the blue to kind of make it more look like the flag, and then maybe do some red around the white because it's like very low contrast. We shall see. And then June, where's June? Oh, fell on the floor. Yep. Start of summer, a little scrappy leftover that kind of fit the color theme that snuck it in there. Yeah, and then July. So casting on August probably today or tomorrow. And it's of course starting with one of the corners, but then I have to decide what will August be, and I'm kind of torn between like a more foresty green vibe, or because August is my birthday month and I love like the autumnal rust colors. I'm thinking maybe to dive into my yarn box behind me and seeing, yeah, if I have something suitable. We shall see. And I'm knitting everything in, so the main color is Ask by Hillesvåg. It's one of my favorite yarns, like most Norwegian podcasters, I would say. This is the main color, and then I'm putting in everything that's like sport-ish weight, 100% wool, Yeah, a lot of ask, some finer, and some other things that I think work together. So that's the main project. And then here I am saying that this is a knitting podcast, and then I'll show you a crochet project that's kind of active. So my mom and I would always say, like, we're knitters, we don't know how to crochet. And even though I've made like amigurumi animals for my kids and yeah, quite a bit of crochet projects over the years, I still say I'm not I don't know how to crochet, but I can sit down with a crochet pattern, and if I am uninterrupted and can focus on it, and yeah, I can do it. So I've been working with a personal trainer for a while now, and she had a baby. And I found this project on Ravelry that I thought was so cute. And I'm like, oh, who can I make it for? No, I'll make it for my personal trainer, even though I guess that's not very common. So I'm making the baby some little like workout toys, plushies. And then I'm gonna put like little rattles, is that what it's called? Like rattle boxes inside the toy, and then the baby can have little workout plushies. I mean, I thought it was appropriate. So okay, so the camera stopped recording. No idea where I was. I think I was looking at my phone to show you the pattern for the fitness set that I'm crocheting, but it's, oh, a lovely glare. Maybe I can put in a picture instead, but this is it. And I'm starting with the little weights. So the gym I work at is like an all-female gym, so most of the stuff there is like pink. So the bars you lift is bright pink, so then bright pink bars with black weights. I think it's gonna be cute. And then I also have a bunch of projects lying around that I guess I'll show you when I work on them. I think that's gonna be the way to do this. So I have lots of ideas about this podcast, and one of the main reasons that I wanted to start this is because of my tendency to not finish things. And honestly, it doesn't really matter that I don't finish the things I start, because knitting is my hobby. I enjoy to knit, so then why shouldn't I just knit what I like when I like? But I also think it's a shame to have all these things that are pretty much almost done and could be of use or joy to someone, even if that someone is not me. So that's why I want to start this project. So then I'm thinking I'm going to have a segment in this series called, I may convert it to a box, but as of right now, it's going to be every time I podcast, I'm going to bring out the bag of shame, is what I'm calling it. And this is my shame because I'm embarrassed about having the content of this bag. And then I'm going to show you something from the bag. And then by the next time I podcast, I have to finish the thing that's in the bag. And I can show you some examples because it's ridiculous what's in here, how close things are to being done. Like for example, when I showed you all of this with like threads, that's my main thing. I don't weave in ends. When I cast off, I'm like finished, and then I toss it aside and I cast on something new or find another project, and I don't finish up things. So annoying. Why do I do that? Anyways, I'll bring out a few things to show you from said bag of shame, and then, yeah, like this Stephen West shawl I knit. I finished this in 2018. No, that's not true. I finished this in 2020. Because we moved house, and I made myself only bring this to the new house before we'd moved in. So I only knit on this to finish it off. But realized I'm never going to use this. It's not for me. Like, so then I knit it because it was fun to knit, and I hadn't tried a Stephen West shawl before. I finished it. I never wove in the ends. Why? I could have gifted this to somebody or sold it. I don't know. Another thing. A pair of like kid monster pants. One of my kids could have worn this. Knitted, I think, 2017. Never wove in the ends. Have it in this bag. Moved house a bunch of times. Brought the bag with me. Never finishing the project. This is probably the stupidest of them all. I made a hat, a Kvikklunsjlue hat. Kvikklunsjlue is a Norwegian, is probably one of the most Norwegian chocolates. We bring it to go hiking, and then you have a chocolate break on your hike. And it came in like a set to knit, like knit. Yeah, what's that called? Yeah. Anyways. And it came with a little like tag to sew on. Finished the hat, even wove in all the ends. Look at this. Didn't sew on the tag, put it in the bag. Yeah. So a lot of that kind of stuff. Socks that I cast on in 2016. And this year, being 2025, I know I have two projects that have their 10-year anniversary that are in my pile of shame. And it being their 10-year anniversary, I have decided they are either being finished or frogged by the end of the year. I can't have 10-year-old projects taking up space, both mental space and actual space. And yeah, it's gonna be done. Or frogged. Yeah, so once every podcast, bringing out something from the bag of shame. I'll even embroider it, I think. Another project for me that we shall see. And then, yeah, I'm going to use this camera as like the motivation slash kick up the butt slash, yeah, to get it done. So my first project for the box of shame segment is going to be this sweater. So this sweater I finished over the summer, so it hasn't been lingering that long. I bought the yarn at the end of last year because I knew the price was going up, and I thought it was so much fun, the color. Such a different color than what I usually knit, and that's what appealed to me. So yeah, I bought the yarn, and then over the summer I finished the Moby sweater by PetiteKnit. Cast it off, tossed it aside, and all the ends need weaving in. So before next podcast, which hopefully won't be that long because I get a strike when motivation strikes, yeah, I'm gonna have it done. And if it isn't 30 degrees, I will wear it for the podcast. And next week I am going to Seattle to meet up with my new knitting friend, and we're going to flock. And it's supposed to be very hot, but fingers crossed that it isn't super hot every day and in the evenings, or I don't know, there's AC or something, and I can wear this. So I will of course share the yarn information and such, but I think I'll do that when I show it off as a finished project, no longer box of shame, bag of shame content. Yeah. So hopefully this, by that, maybe the podcast idea isn't that good if I actually make it to the bottom of my box of shame and I then don't have any more content. But let's be honest, that's not going to happen, is it? No. Yeah, so next week I'm going to flock, and I figured maybe I'd do one of those like get ready with me, or not get ready with me, but get yarn ready with me for a flock. Oh, here was the Kvikklunsjlue tag. It fell out of the bag of shame. So sewing this on the hat, and that should be an easy one, you would think. Just finding the needle. But yeah. If you watched this, thank you so much. I hope it wasn't awkward. I hope this can be like a regular thing. I hope I become less awkward throughout, and yeah, I'm just happy to finally have kicked myself up the backside, and I'm happy I just did this. Came home from work a bit earlier than expected today. I had a bit of time before I have to pick up the kids from kindergarten. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you for a new video very shortly, because flock is just a few days, or I'm leaving for flock in just a few days. So if I'm doing one of those get ready with me videos, I actually will have to make it very soon. So yeah, okay, thank you, goodbye.